Hello, 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 John Mason. How is everybody? Hope you're all well. Hope you're keeping cool in this heat. It's 100 degrees now in Philadelphia, but they expect the temperatures to drop, to go down to the low 80s and rain. I won't complain. Tomorrow is the glorious 4th, where we celebrate the 250th anniversary of our glorious independence of our glorious nation with our glorious freedom. So who the hell am I kidding? We have in the White House a self-centered, ignorant, morally bankrupt, money-grabbing, pussy-grabbing, wannabe despot who's trying to stay in power for as long as he can, for we the people get hold of him in court, of course, and in the meantime he rakes in billions of dollars. Report is out that in that last year, 2015, he raked in $2.2 billion. Yep, $2.2 billion dollars. And what happened? And what about the rest of us in this country? Gas prices, groceries, they're all going up. People can't afford to buy houses or even gasoline or milk. And Trump's ICE goons are on patrol trying to make life hell for immigrant communities. People just trying to work their jobs, trying to make a comfortable living for themselves and their families and their future generations. And they, like last month or so, during the graduation ceremonies at the Marine Corps training facility in Parris Island, North Carolina, it was reported that ICE agents were outside the gates of the facility, ready to nab immigrant families who wanted to see their sons again after surviving 13 years of boot camp. Can't even imagine it. But anyway, it's supposed to be the proudest moment of their life, but no, they got to make it a time of terror. Let's see how long those ICE idiots last in Parris Island. They melt right away. And we had, and our president, if you can call his ass that, has as his allies people who are willfully ignorant people who want to dictate to the rest of us what we should read, what we should, how we should worship, how we should read, how we should educate ourselves, and preventing an honest assessment of our country's history. Let's be honest. They were great men, or the guys who signed the Declaration of Independence, and so many of them lost so much. As soon as they put their signatures to the paper on the parchment, they are guilty of treason. And as Ben Franklin said, we must all hang together or hang separately. That's how we'll stamp the Trump. But I digress. So these were white males, affluent white males, almost all of them holding slaves, and as so many of them were terrified by the very thought of the democracy, meaning us, the people, having any say in government. having any say in the running of the decisions that affect our lives. But the ideas of the Enlightenment and of the natural rights of man, as they put it, are still good ideas. It's just we, the people, need to assert them for ourselves. It was a long struggle for we, the people, to have a say in the matters of our government. First they eliminated property requirements for white males. Then the Emancipation Proclamation, the end of the Civil War, and for that brief glorious moment, black people were allowed to participate in a say-so of their governments. Until Jim Crow settled in with the fact that they were betrayed by African Americans, formerly enslaved people, were betrayed by the party of Lincoln, the guy who signed the Emancipation Proclamation. The Republicans and Democrats and their financial overlords were getting very terrified by the fact that labor was organizing, and they needed the army to become taken out of the South to repress workers standing up for themselves. And like in 1877, after the last federal troops were removed from the South, thereby starting the Jim Crow era, strikes were started along the railroad lines. First, once one of the shops at the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, then the rest of the B&O line, then other railroad lines. Then cities had their own general strikes. I would recommend Eric Foner's work on this, the work of Eric and Philip Foner on these momentous events. And after a century, more or less a century, the civil rights movement was up and running, and we finally had an opportunity to deal with racial problems in this country, and also the social race and class were also about to be dealt with. Like you remember in August 1963, if you were old enough, was the March on Washington for jobs and freedom, along with the usual civil rights organizations were labor unions like the UAW under Walter Reuther. See, Martin Luther King Jr. knew of as did A. Philip Randolph and Bayard Rustin, understood the reality of class as it intertwines with race. Race and class had to be dealt with. But the Republican propaganda machine kept telling white workers that all of the welfare stuff was going to black people, not telling them that white people can apply for food stamps and Medicaid and Medicare and all that fun stuff. And that was the basis of Nixon's Southern strategy And when Nixon died, I'm sidetracking here. When Nixon died, news commentators talked about what a brilliant move that was to turn white workers against black workers, lower class whites against lower income black people and people of color. They always talk about what a brilliant move that is. And what did that cause? What did that bring about? Racial division has been continued, black and white against each other. But Nixon didn't give a shit. He stayed in power. Yes, I've gone, in this little rant, I've gone quite a ways. But I do this because the work of fighting for freedom is not over yet. And we're not going to allow that orange ogre, that nectarine Nazi, that tangerine tumor, and his minions and his ass kissers get in our way. We'll celebrate the 4th by continuing to fight for freedom. I urge us all, when the temperature cools down, of course, to organize and educate ourselves, network with each other, truly understand what the issues are, and then get out and vote. That's the secret sauce, kids. Get out and vote. And now that I've finished my rant, advertisements. All this work I do on my podcast and my blog and my YouTube and my poetry and my fiction, all work. I need to be compensated for my work. I put money out to put this material on these various platforms, and I need to be compensated for this work, and also with enough money to raise it to a higher level. So, please go on my website, johnomason.com, and click either the PayPal button or the Buy Me a Coffee button and see what you can give. I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks. And also, Hemperific is a lovely little CBD product store located on Snyder Avenue near 15th Street in South Philadelphia. There you'll find some of the finest cannabis-infused products. Gummies and candies and drinks and teas and flour and hand sanitizer and dog treats. Yeah, dog treats. Look them up, please. HemperificLLC.com. And also my beloved career and business coach, Michelle Snow. Michelle's excellent in helping you develop your professional career or small business. Let you know what you're doing right, where you need work, and help you network with other up-and-coming entrepreneurs or professionals. Please look her up. growwithsnow.com. Okay, as I just told you, the fight is on. It's never ended. And as long as Donald Trump is shitting his diapers in the White House, I don't think it is not going to end. So let's keep it up. Our revolutionary ancestors are looking down from heaven upon us. Let's not let them down. Have a good weekend ahead of you. Keep cool, mummy-os, daddy-os. Shabbat shalom. Bye.